Welcome back to another video, guys. In this one I'm going to show you how to build this T-Rex skull. So it's not too big. You're going to need this many blocks, so quite a lot of enderstone, probably about maybe like 300 if you want to be safe, and then obviously split that into slabs, stairs and walls as well. And you can also use leaves to kind of make the neck or the vertebrae there look a little bit better. So if you'd like to make anything else, I've got tutorials for other things as well. But yeah, I'm going to start with a tutorial right now. Okay, so I'm using my own diagram, so if you do struggle with this, you have no excuse. So I'm going to start with the back. Really, you should just be using the diagrams for this, but I don't know, I'm just going to build it myself in this video. So yeah, this should take a little while. It really isn't too difficult, at least that's what I'm presuming. I think I'll be able to build it without any mistakes. In fact, hang on, I think I've gone wrong already. Right, okay. So you want to be using dirt blocks to fill in the blank spots. That's a good strategy. And I'm not sure how good or how easy it is to collect enderstone. I haven't played survival in ages. If you don't want to use enderstone, you could use diorite, or you could use sandstone, or you could just use whatever you like, really. I mean, it's probably better if it looks like a bone. So get something that looks bone coloured, so maybe birch as well, if you've got a lot of that. But I guess if you want to make it out of black stone, that would look cool, maybe. Yeah, so I was actually building something else, but I kind of failed with that. I tried a new technique and, well, it didn't really work out. And to be honest, the majority of the things that I make, or that I attempt to make, maybe not the majority, but about half of it doesn't actually work. So I'll get about maybe 40% through the project and I'll realise, yeah, this isn't looking very good. I'm just going to leave it here. And it's not like I'm giving up. I've just realised that, oh, how do we place this? Right. That's not going to work. Yeah, I just realised that it's not really worth the time, so a lot of the projects get abandoned. So I decided to make this. This is a nice, easy one. I could make a whole skeleton, but the vertebrae and the rib cage would probably look quite bad. I have made a dragon skeleton and that worked out quite well because it was very big. But whenever I make something now, I'd like people to actually be able to build it themselves. I want to be able to make a tutorial for it, otherwise I feel like there's not really much point. So yeah, I want to keep the scale down. So I think that's it for the first stage, or the first layer. Just remove these dirt blocks. It really doesn't matter if you get this wrong by like a block or two. You probably won't though. I mean, the diagram's pretty easy. So I'll just switch to the second layer. Okay, so the second layer, this will probably be a little bit trickier because you're adding on to the existing layer. So it's harder to, it might be a little bit more confusing basically, but maybe not. I'm actually finding it quite easy. So again, like if you're having trouble with this, it's your own fault. I'm managing to do it, so you should have no excuse. And my patience is quite low. I just like doing my own thing usually. So yeah, pretty tired at the moment. I went to the gym maybe like a couple of hours ago and pretty much did a whole body. I've got a good like abdominal routine now. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a 12 kilogram ball. I've just deleted something there. What was that? I think it goes like this. Yeah, 12 kilogram ball, and you just move it from one side of your body to the other. I mean, it's a pretty simple exercise, but it's something I haven't done before, and it seemed to cause me some kind of some amount of pain, which is generally a good thing. Right. Yeah, it is hard to tell if you miss anything here. Right. Okay, I think that's done for the upper layer. And then if you come down here, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my physique, I guess. My body fat's pretty low. It's about 12%. Hoping to get it to 10. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to the other side now. Really, like anything between like 10 and 17 is quite good. So I think oh, missed that one. I think people get too obsessive when they sometimes when they go to the gym, they want to be really big or they want to be extremely lean, when really it doesn't really matter. You should just aim to be a healthy weight, or a healthy like body fat percentage. So between, like I said, 10 and 17, and as long as you're like within a reasonable, as long as you're a reasonable weight, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, anything between like 60 kilograms and 90 maybe. It's not really an appropriate topic for this video, but I mean, like I said, you really should be following the diagrams, which I'll leave in the description. Like, I'll make an album in case that's easier for you. I'll probably leave like full screen diagrams in this video as well. But yeah, it's a pretty easy project, and I kind of like these things. And when I was playing survival, the only thing I really built were houses, maybe like bridges, roads, the odd like low quality ship. So I think something like this, it might add, I guess it would add some, I don't know, it would be like an interesting little piece for your survival world. And like I said, I've got other statues over there and some like pretty complicated ships, which would be hard to make in survival, but you know, if you wanted to give that a go, maybe make some like modifications to it to make it a little bit easier to make. So that's the other side. I'll just switch to the fourth diagram. Okay, so we'll remain on this side. Where do we want this? Suppose I could talk about T-Rex. I mean, I'm not exactly an expert in dinosaurs, but as a kid I was really interested in them, and to be fair, I still am. So it existed 65 million years ago, or like 67 to 65 million years ago roughly. It's about 9 metric tons. How long was it? I think it was about, I don't know in meters, maybe like 40 foot. It wasn't actually the biggest carnivorous dinosaur. I believe that was Spinosaurus, but that was a bit of a weird one because it was semi-aquatic, whereas obviously T-Rex was a like fully land-based predator. And it's interesting because some people speculate that it was a scavenger, but it doesn't, for me that doesn't really make sense, because like scavengers today, foxes, hyenas, they're never the biggest predator. The biggest predators like lions, tigers, wolves, they're not scavengers, they hunt. So based on like modern day ecosystems, it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, that it's a scavenger. Alright, so I'll switch over to the other side. Obviously, like it's hard to know because it's obviously nothing like a lion or a tiger. It's built completely differently. It's different to any modern animal, so it's really unknown how these creatures actually operated, but I think it's unlikely. Obviously needed a lot of calories to maintain this mass of around 9 tons at the maximum. And then you have like, I think they say Giganotosaurus is a little bit bigger or more massive. And oh, what's the other one now? Carcantoro? No, I'm gonna struggle to pronounce it now. It's like I can't say it. I used to be able to say it. I've obviously forgotten I've forgotten the word. Carcharodontosaurus, that's it. Yeah, that's sort of related to Giganotosaurus. So I don't know if these sort of things are popular. I might build another like dinosaur head. Okay, so on to the last layer. I think I've not missed anything so far, or if I have, it's not significant. So yeah, it's kind of surprising how many like hollow bits there are in these skulls. If you think of a human skull, I mean, apart from the eye sockets, they're not hollow. At least most people's skulls aren't. I don't think mine is. But yeah, I guess it was to reduce weight. And it's interesting because sauropods, so the long-necked dinosaurs, apparently they had hollow bones similar to birds. So I'm not sure if that was the same adaptation and birds just inherited that from their ancestors, or if they independently, if that was like an independent adaptation. But yeah, it's interesting. So that's that side done. Okay, onto the last layer on the left side. Right, and some people think that dinosaurs were like cold-blooded or not completely warm-blooded, but that doesn't really make sense to me. You have examples today of sort of like cold-bloodedness and warm-bloodedness. They say it's on a spectrum, and that's true. You have things like tuna and great white sharks who can to some extent control their internal body temperature, and then you have birds that have a very high, very fast metabolism. Their internal body temperature is something like, I think it was above 40 degrees Celsius, whereas mammals it's generally around, well, the humans it's around like 37 degrees Celsius. And obviously like reptiles, amphibians, etc. rely on the environment, but getting off topic really. But that's the final layer, and then I think I've done everything there. Yeah, and then you can sort of, if you'd like to, you can mix in some leaves right here. So yeah, it seems to me that dinosaurs probably would be around what mammals are, because if you look at their anatomy and if you think about what kind of things they'd be doing, it makes sense to me that they would operate quite similarly to mammals. The environment was different back then. It was warmer, so you might say, well, there might have been like less demand for them to be endothermic or like warm-blooded, but I don't know. Like, I'm not an expert. I just kind of like thinking about these things. It'd be nice to go back in time, like use a time machine, see what they looked like, how they behaved, and I think I'd probably be like way off in my like expectations. They'd probably behave nothing like how I would expect. So yeah, I kind of like putting some leaves in the eye sockets there, and then no further, just to give it kind of a well, an old look, and then around the sides just to make it look a bit like random, really. Make it look like these leaves are coming down. And yeah, it doesn't have to be anything, doesn't have to be perfect, but something like that. Keep lagging a bit, hope that doesn't bother you, but yeah, that's about it. Tell me what you think. If you've got any ideas for any future builds, let me know. Again, if you'd like to, I don't know, build that thing or that thing, you can do that. So yeah, hope you've had a good day, and thank you for watching.